Long day lady road. Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're here. We did it. We're back. I guess we're back. We never really left, to tell you the truth. We do these when we can. Welcome to another episode of Comics and Conversations. Episodes are these episodes. We have fun. We have fun here, and as always, we can't have fun with the great, amazing Angela Curry. What's going on, Angela?
Rat, amazing.
Rat.
Rat.
Hey, Raptor says words are hard. He ain't lying.
Words are hard. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad we're back again.
Well, you do your sumo thing, and so understandably it goes to like 8 a.m. So you doing a Sunday show after that is like, it's just too much.
It's a lot. No, we're gonna make some updates to that, but we're here now, so yay.
Well, and that's what also though, like I was telling our guest backstage, guest host, hey,
words are hard.
You know what? He can be a co-host too. He's a great person, but no, I don't mind like doing these weekly is a strain, so I don't mind the break, and stuff like that. And plus, you don't want to get too many things out there, people get over they don't know what to back.
That's true.
So,
and you're working on your own book, which we
just finished the page last night. We did a live stream. If you want to go watch that, please do.
I showed up in the chat, but you were ignoring it as per usual.
The banner did say we were ignoring chat. It was Shelby, Ink Spots, Billy, and me. So
it was fun.
Check it out. It was fun. I finished a Frog G page, but that's not what we're here for.
No, we're not. Not at all.
We're here for an amazing human being, a great person. I call him friend. Granted, I don't hang out with him as much as we used to, but he's a wonderful man. We got the great Arvid. What's going on, man?
Hey, Jason, Angela, great to be here. All right,
welcome, sir. Yeah, I'm happy to have you here, I will begrudgingly admit that it was Angela's idea. Actually, I'd be like, hey, let's have Arvid on. I'm like, that's a great idea. So.
Someone also recommended it to me, so that's why. Because
never mind.
So I'm not going to take full credit, but yes, I was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Why don't we have Arvid on? That is such a good point.
And I was like, why don't we have Arvid on? Why didn't we do this?
What are we doing? So glad you could be here. Yay!
God bless both of you. Yeah, no, I'm so excited to be here. All's well that ends well.
Well, it hasn't ended yet. It's only just
well, we're just getting started.
To live. Speaking of Happy Gilmore, we have a chat going on. Let's say hi to the chat real quick.
We do. Jeremy Burtz. Hey, Jeremy Burtz was first. Cheers, man. He's got some great, actually, just a side note, he's been doing some great Star Wars drawings, so check them out. He did the singing lady from Return of the Jedi, which really good. So a fun video too. We got Henry Bemis here. Cheers, man.
What's up, Henry?
Good to see you. And we got Words Are Hard 2025. Says Todd. Or AKA Shelby. Shelby calls me Todd.
Yeah, you're Todd.
Really?
Todd? He thinks I'm Todd. He has this idea that I'm changing my voice. I'm actually Todd McFarlane.
Well, because she's always calling Shelby Bud.
Oh, okay.
It's a thing. Yeah. And we got Flying Feline.
Feline. I need 3 of those comic holders.
Yeah.
I don't want to email you. I shouldn't have to. I'm better than that. 3 of them.
And you do say please?
What?
Did you say please?
No. I gave her artwork for free. Just do it. Please.
Oh, okay. She says okay. Wow. She's what a lady.
She is.
Yeah.
Everybody, sorry about me drinking my aspartame. Please like and subscribe also. Also, hey, if you don't care about what Arvid has to say, what I have to say, or Angela at all, there's a link in the top you pinned. Click that. Go back.
Yeah.
The End of the Crow. Check it out. You could bypass all this and it's a great looking book. And Arvid, you've been at this a couple of days now. You've been doing this whole comic thing for a while. What got you in? Like, this is a weird thing to get into. What do you remember? What got you into it, or like maybe your first book, or what may have you?
I do remember I got kicked out of a band in college. That's how this all started. I swear to God, I got kicked out of a band in college, and that was.
Wait, a band kicked you out because you like comic books?
It wasn't. I don't think that was the reason. I'm not actually sure what the reason was. They thought Have you ever been in a band, just like band politics?
I hung around. I was guest a groupie. I was the artist for the band. So
okay,
yeah.
It was just weird band politics things. I don't know. They were all from Latin America. Actually, I speak a little Spanish, but I think I wasn't Latin enough.
You didn't have pure blood.
Right. So
I was gonna say, yeah. What are the application you put when they say like they have that one question of your like, are you Hispanic or not? White,
right, I know, right.
Non-Hispanic, you select non-Hispanic.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, and my grandmother was Mexican. Actually, I am technically. This is verse.
My bad. Oh, there you go.
What's up, Billy?
Hey, Billy.
Yeah.
Can I just say this is so great? I missed Jason, Angela, Flying Feline, Henry, just Billy. This feels like the good old days. I miss all you guys.
Hey, man, it's always the good old days when you're with us. You know what I mean?
I know. We gotta hang out more, guys.
I would love it. Hey, well, I mean, times like you and I at least live in the same time zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I do stream, like I kind of stopped streaming as much frequently, but when I do stream, it's usually at night. So I don't know how late you are often awake. So
I get up at like 4 a.m. and
I'm going to bed at 4 a.m.
That's right. Yeah, it's like Lady Hawk, but
it is nice.
Great movie. Manhawk.
Manhawk.
Yeah, great. Okay, great stream.
Hey, guy.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, guy?
What's up?
So you got. Were you into comics when you were in the band?
Wait a second.
What? I'm asking a question. Fine. No, Angela.
What instrument did he play? That's what I want to know.
I have a golden baritone.
Okay, that's all I needed. Okay, you can continue.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes, you can. Sorry, that was a question I had.
I mean, it's important. You know, these are the important questions we ask here on the channel.
Think Danzig, but more so. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
ARVID. No, so they kicked you out of the band. Mm-hmm. Now, were you currently a comic geek, or were you like, I need a new hobby?
Yeah, I have always loved. Yeah, that's right. So Henry and I have like the same taste in music. I remember New Haven, Connecticut, Tune In, just all those bands, Snapcase, all those like Victory Records bands.
Were you like what, underground punk or something? Or
yeah, it was funny. I don't listen to that stuff at all anymore. It's funny. I'm super into metal. I'm like death. Like I should have my head checked. I mean, you probably see a psychiatrist. I'm super into death metal. I really like.
See, I can't. I obviously, I hang out with Luke, death metal hero, and I'm just not. I can't do the death metal.
I know.
I love the music side of it, and I don't mind the gutturals. But to me, once I've heard 2 songs back to back, I'm like, I'm done. Like that's it.
Yeah,
I totally get it. Like it's not an acquired taste. It's not like, oh yeah, you'll
like I like me some Cannibal Corpse. I like some cattle decapitation, but every now and then, put on a little, crowbars, like some even some Leonard Cohen. Like let's mix it up a little bit.
Totally. Leonard Cohen goes, I'm into like neo folk music too, like Death and June. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, this is like I know we're kind of this is where we don't always talk comics, but
sorry, this is how it goes.
This is getting to know the creators.
No. But I love music too. But I love one thing I like watching for some stupid reason. I go down a rabbit hole with the reaction videos and stuff like that. They're so fake. They're the fakest thing I've ever seen in my life. But it wasn't a reaction video. It was actually some dude sitting in his car talking about what a true metalhead is. And he's like, he's just pretty much saying, if you don't like death metal or anything like related to death metal, you're not a true metal fan. If you wear this type of clothes, if you look like this, if you listen to that, I'm like, this guy's an idiot because any real metalhead listens to, dude, metal musicians love classical music.
Right. No, right. Exactly.
So the guy himself is like, I don't know if he was just like, it was a 10-minute video. So I don't know if he was serious, if he was trying to get a rise out of people to get his channel going, the comments going. It's like there's a difference between being an elite person and being an elitist and having elitism. Like there's a personality in the elitism field where you shun everybody who doesn't believe what you believe. Being elite just means you're good at what you do.
Totally. And like for me, like I'm not into like new metal, like Slipknot or Korn, but like good for those guys. Good,
but
for
it's
those
still
guys.
metal,
Right? Exactly. It's not my thing, but that's cool. Like, you know, you do. I'm not gonna like banish them from, like, why would they care? They're Slipknot. They sell out football stadiums. But good for them.
And that's the thing. Like everybody's like I have this conversation with Luke often, and let's get we can talk about that actually because it's a good example. Like Slipknot, and we can relate this even to artwork. Like Slipknot, their first 2 albums, everybody loves them. They're bangers. I love them. They're great. But there's a lot of people, I mean, including Luke, who will say after Iowa, he's like, I dipped out. He's like, they changed their studio production. Corey started getting an ego. The singing became more and prominent in the music. I'm like, okay, don't get me wrong. Some stuff they did, not everything they did was a banger, but they're trying new things. They're experimenting. They're artists. We're artists. We like to do and try different, like, and grow and maybe change things up. Some things may work. Some things may not. You know, you're doing your thing. If the fans like it, great. That's that's the whole thing. Make yourself happy in what you're doing first. Like the fans are first as far as the product goes and selling 100%. It, but making the book should be first.
100%. I saw with regards to Slipknot, I forget, there was some YouTube, it was the metal professor talk about, what did Henry say? Dumbass selling about Old Slayer. Totally. So he called himself the metal professor or something like that.
I think I've heard of him.
He made a really good point about Slipknot. He said that bands like Slipknot, they were talking to people and connecting with people that have been completely overlooked and forgotten and just like didn't exist, like flyover people. And so good for them. Good for them. Like you said, it's about the fans. I think Slipknot does it for the people that listen to Slipknot, and I think they speak to a lot of people. I think that's an awesome thing.
Well, even them, they even admit they didn't expect to make it at all. They were never really supposed to. They're like, this wasn't really supposed to work. They said there's 9 of us. Like it's out of the box from what it was in the beginning anyway. They're like, we never expected this to take off at all. Now, and here's the thing: people are like, well, they changed once they got big, but admittedly, dude, if Frog G kicks off, it becomes a big movie, and we quote unquote sell out, that doesn't mean we still don't love what we do and that it's not as important to us. It just means we became underground mainstream. Like you should celebrate. To 100%. Me, you should celebrate. Dude, if Band of the Crow gets billions of dollars later, dude, I love you for it. I'm happy for you. You know what I mean? Like if it gets into this mainstream, becomes the next Lord of the Rings. Dude, awesome. You did it. You made it. Like, it may not be your goal at all. You may even want it to stay underground. I don't know. But if it catches on and you make a success out of doing what you love, why should we be like, oh, well, they're mainstream. They suck now. You suck now. Mainstream. It's like, no, you made it. Great. Like, we should be applauding that.
There's something more endearing though about somebody who's doing it because of they love the art versus they are doing it because they want to get a Netflix deal. So that's
Well, and that's the thing. Arvid, you do this because you love comics.
I do. I just kind of crashed out. I met too many people like that in my former life. I met too many like Netflix hunting type people. You know, they're not writing, they're developing IPs. You know what I mean? It's just like,
well, and that's I've had even people on. I've had people on in the past, and Angela can vouch for this, where we'll be talking to them and they're like, well, I didn't really intend on doing a comic. I wanted to write a book, but comics just seemed like an easier form to get it. I'm like, well, so you don't really, like, you might even have collected comics, you don't love, like, you have to really do this. It's not like we're going to retire doing these crowdfunders right now. You know, it's going to take time. You have to really love this. This is a grind. It takes away time from your life, your family, your friends. Like, you get immersed. Like, I tell plenty of people, if I'm drawing and you're texting me, I'm going to get mad because you're ruining my flow. Like, it sucks you in. Like, this is your thing. Like, it's your passion. And so whenever I meet somebody who's like, oh, I really wanted to do this, but instead I did this, I'm like, I'm happy you're trying, but you don't really love, like, you love this. Like, this is your thing. Because you've had other stuff in Image and Dark Horse. Like, you've been doing this for a little bit. So have you been doing it since those band years? Like, is that when you started? Because we'll get back into it.
So, okay. So thank you for segueing. Oh, yeah.
Seriously, like, what a great way. You brought it right around. Nice.
But so I was just sort of like, I was feeling hurt. I was feeling, alone. And I just, I had always loved comics, and I just sort of fell in with a new group of friends. This is my senior year of college, and one of us, sort of our ringleader, said, "Hey, wait a minute, we could do a comic book together, and we become a student organization and get our school to pay for it." and we could use all of their equipment too, all the computers, all their Macs. It was just like the G3 era. They just got these new G3 the Macs in. So that's what we did. And then it was just like one night, it was like we remember those did they still have those Arizona 99 cents?
Yeah, they still sell the Arizona.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
Yep.
It's like 99% sugar. It's like syrup.
Yeah, my nephews drink them all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I used to drink them. Yeah.
So we were just high on Arizona iced teas and Bugle. For some reason, that was the official snack of our comic. Yeah.
Bugles are so good.
So good.
So good. You put them on your fingertips and pretend you're
right. Yeah, totally. I thought I was the only one.
What's your favorite type of ramen? Since we're talking about food?
I'm so boring. As long as it's vegetarian. I went to Japan recently.
All right.
I ate a lot of rice, so it's just like
yeah. I'm a rice guy. Yeah.
Right. Sumimasen. I know this. Yeah. They got this good.
Shigema.
Yeah, Shigema. They got this really good. Man, the food looked good in Japan too, and I ate none of it.
I gotta go. Man, gotta go.
Yeah. It's intense.
Why didn't you eat any of it?
Well, it's because it's like there's just like a lot of meat stuff. They're just like not a.
Oh, so you're straight up vegan?
Yeah, well, not vegan. I do. Pizza is my.
Oh, your weakness?
Yeah. I couldn't.
Dude, I love pizza.
I know. I can't.
I tell everybody, I'm not really a huge carb counter, but even after I eat a pizza, I'm like, dude, I'm regretting my life. and dude, because I could do I can eat a large almost by myself. So afterwards, I'll fall asleep in front of the computer from a carbohydrate coma. I'm just like, I'm just comatose. Yeah,
totally. Oh, yeah. I will inhale a large pizza on my own. Oh, no problem. Yeah, no problem,
dude. At the a local pizza shop up the road, they have a chicken Alfredo pizza.
Oh wow, that sounds good.
So good, dude. Alfredo sauce, bacon, and chicken.
Yeah.
Cheese. Oh, dude, it's
stop it.
So good.
Stop it now.
Tasty pizzas cancels stuff out. Totally. You have an anti-pizza. One made of like antimatter. I have an antimatter pizza.
Yeah.
Be the change you want to see, Shelby. Be the change. By the way, Shelby, I don't think we've ever met. It's nice that means sort of, kind of.
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to meet Shelby.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll just talk about playing golf with Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld on the moon as they explore Saturn. Who knows what he's talking about?
Yeah. Wow.
I just let him. The thing with Shelby is you have him on a stream, you just let him go and you draw. Like that's it. You're good.
Oh yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So you're in Japan. You're eating vegetable ramen.
Actually, I was with my son. Actually, this is like. It was this weirdly memorable thing. We were at this it wasn't, what is it called? Tempura restaurant. It was amazing. He was there was the chef was wearing a Garrison cap and a tie, and I think it was his mother. There was a sort of elderly Japanese woman who was the waitress. They were so nice to me and my son. We were the only ones in the shop. They just treated us like we were royalty. I got the shrimp tempura for my son. He decided he didn't want it. So just out of politeness, I was full too. I just ate the shrimp. I was like, it was a little, I never eaten shrimp before ever in my life either. But
so you didn't even know if you were allergic to it.
Exactly. It was a gamble. Dude. It was a gamble.
That's a big gamble.
But I did it like out of politeness. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Wow. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing too. The texture. Will you ever eat shrimp again?
It was kind of. It was a little.
Was it hard?
I was not hungry. Yeah, it was not a great first experience.
Man. You just went all. No, that's the thing. That culture, it is like if you don't eat your food, it's considered disrespectful.
Right, exactly. I could tell. It's just, like my son, it wasn't his fault. I mean, he's 12 years old. So he just wasn't hungry. It's just okay. This is on me now. Yeah, chew. Yeah. It was just mentally chew, swallow, chew.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I've been there, or somebody's like, "Oh, I'm so full. You want?" I'm like, "I don't want it." The thing is with me, like, if somebody even makes something or that I don't, I force myself to eat it.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, I just don't want to. Like, you made food. I don't want to be disrespectful and not eat it, no matter who you are. So I'm like, oh, I gotta force this down now. Yes, it's not fun, especially with like shrimp. I couldn't. So that was fairly recent though, right? That was the whole Japan excursion with the chowing down of the shrimp.
Yeah, that was last July. It was kind of my last thing.
Oh man.
So back in the day, you were kicked out of the band. You're in the computer room, pounding Arizonas, eating.
Right. We had this we had to share with the humor magazine. They were not very funny. They were neither humorous nor a magazine. So we were in this kind of passive aggressive duel. We would leave passive aggressive messages for them and back, and then we totally, they were terrified of us. At any rate, it was like 3 a.m. We were high on bugles and Arizona iced tea. And my friend said, hey, we could do this. You realize we're graduating in a month. Why don't we all move to Brooklyn? Let's all move to Brooklyn and start a comic book publishing empire together. And
awesome.
As one does.
We did. Yeah. Exactly.
What year is this? What year are we talking about with this?
1999.
Okay.
Yeah, many moons ago. We lived in Park Slope, like in Brooklyn, Park Slope, which is funny. It's changed a lot since then. It was just the last little feeling of like the kind of like bohemian Park Slope Brooklyn thing. We got to taste the last of it.
Yeah. The only time I was ever even remotely close to there was my dad drove us all to New York State. We bought a soda at a gas station and then went back home.
Okay.
So New York City and like Brooklyn or whatever, like all that stuff way out there. I've never really been out that way. That side of the New York, Massachusetts and all that stuff. But
I got to say with New York, I don't even like people. Oh, it's great to visit it. I don't even like this. I lived there for 10 years.
Well, this is what I hear from a lot of New Yorkers or people from New York. They're either like once they leave there, they can't wait to get back. Like it just grew on them and it's in their blood. Then there's those that are like, look, I'm so glad I left. I like to visit. It's great, but to live there, no. So
I don't even like visiting. I don't even like.
That's like me with Ohio. It's like I really don't like. I don't want to live here. I don't want to really visit. I hate Ohio.
Do you really?
I don't like it.
Where in Ohio?
I'm in just outside Cleveland.
Okay.
So, but that's another reason is for me, dude. I'm not a cold weather guy. I don't like cold weather.
Oh yeah.
So it's winter 8 months out of the year.
Right.
Like, dude, I still have the heater on in the house.
Right.
Like I have to turn my space heater on. It's June.
Right. No,
like
totally.
that shouldn't happen. So yeah,
Totally.
it's only warm like a few months out of the year, and then after that, it's like I wear a flannel or a hoodie all year round.
Yeah.
Like
right.
You have to. So
see, the other half of me is Scandinavian, and I'm only happy when it's cold and dark and everyone's miserable. I am used to I like the dark, but I am used to the cold is the thing. So like I could take cold showers. Okay. Like I actually prefer them almost. But also the good thing about that is when I go outside in the cold, I'm not as cold because I had a cold shower, but it's just, you kind of get used. Like I'll wear a hoodie in 25-degree weather without a coat. So you adapt to it. Fairly quickly, actually.
Yeah, I grew up in Ohio and I left and actually fell in love with Ohio, and now I love Ohio. So I had the opposite.
Oh, okay. Where in Ohio? Because my wife is from Ohio. Where in Ohio are you from?
I'm from middle of the state, Columbus area.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
she's from Canton. My wife.
Oh, you're okay.
Canton. Yep. Been there. Visited there several times.
There is a Canton comic convention that they do once in a while. Nice. I don't know if it's later this year or not. I don't know. I missed it out on it. I'm going to be in Grove City, Ohio, next month.
Nice.
So I'm going to be at Heroes Con.
Wait, you're going to? Oh, okay. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Henry Bemis grew up in LA and has zero interest in going back.
Oh yeah.
Which I love LA. I visit LA. I will go to LA over and over again. I love visiting, but I guess living there is a total different story.
I think so, like the traffic and stuff like that.
But
here's the thing, though. I don't know what it is about, like obviously it's a population thing, but a lot of those cities they grow creativity, like LA, New York. They really just like there's something about the atmosphere in those vicinities. Yeah. Like you had Marvel in DC, and then you had Image out in California. So it's I don't know what it is, like which is weird. A lot of the people in this crowdfunding scene, there's a lot from Ohio. Yeah, it's surprising. I don't know if that's just the cold atmosphere keeping people inside and like I gotta do something.
That's true. That's right.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. So you probably, but obviously you grew up then and were around a lot of creatives because you were in the band, and then you had met artists afterwards. Were they the artists that you met that you did the whole bugle thing with? Did you meet them in college, or were they just like other band members that you just met throughout touring?
Yeah, no, they were all just like college guys. They're just some friends. It's funny. I think I'm the only one like still creating comics out of all of them. I think they all sort of went their separate ways. I lost touch with them a long time ago. That year in Brooklyn was a little intense. Once it was over, I was kind of like, guys.
Did anything come from you guys doing anything? Like, did you put anything out, or was it all just like a dream thing and it just dissolved?
Yeah, no. Be well, Flying Feline. Good to see you.
Oh, have a good one, Feline. Thanks for sticking around. Yeah. Feline, you don't have to put my logo on it if you're still here. If so, just get it off of Twitter. Anyway, I'm not stickler. I just need the things for now. No, yeah. So you met him in college. Like, yeah. Did anything happen? Did it dissolve?
So a few things happened that summer. Things just kind of clicked and fell into place. I was also working on film as like a production assistant on a few films. I worked on a Woody Allen movie.
Oh wow!
Production assistant.
Wow.
Yeah, it was intense. It was locking down a set. Like, it was all shot live in New York City. So it was my job to stand on a sidewalk and tell irate New York City pedestrians that they couldn't walk because we were shooting.
That had to be kind of dangerous.
Yeah, it was intense.
That would have been crazy.
Right, yeah.
Wow.
Several brushes with that. So yeah. It was intense.
Nice.
What else? I worked on a trauma movie too, like a Toxic Avenger Part 4. That was intense.
Wow.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah, supposedly they're still doing the Peter Dinklage one. I heard that it's back on. Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be it. I would just see that just for the fact that it's Peter Dinklage.
I think that's why a lot of people
annoying me, but
just because it's like Peter Dinklage is the Toxic Avenger.
What is happening?
Oh, why?
There's no other person of his stature that can now, because he's basically kicked them all out of Hollywood.
Oh, he's the only dwarf in Hollywood.
I know. Yeah, that was right. Yeah.
Anyways,
he's the only one allowed, I should say.
Right.
Yeah. So were you working in doing the comic thing while you were on these movies?
Yeah. So I was kind of doing this around, and so I went to one of the things. I was working on a documentary about the Paris Review, it's an English language literary magazine. It's kind of a famous English language literary magazine, but it was founded in Paris. It was centered in Paris. So this was like in the 1950s, like Allen Ginsberg, like a lot of famous writers I think Truman Capote as well, like a lot of famous sort of like mid-century post-war American writers got their start in the Paris Review. So at any rate, I was doing this documentary, and I was, again, as a production assistant, which just meant like I had to like guard the baggage basically. So I was there in Paris. It was just like, okay, we're going to go into this beautiful cafe. We're going to go into Saint-Sulpice or Notre Dame or whatever. And Arvid, you stay here on the sidewalk with the bags, bro.
Man.
Okay. But it got my little gears turning. And I was actually sitting down to eat with a woman. We were at a cafe. It was just, I will never forget this. It was this church called Saint-Germain-des-Prés. And I was looking at it, and she said, "Isn't that church beautiful?" I said, "Yeah, it's amazing." She said it was built in the year 800 by the Normans.
What?
I know. I was just
What's the name of this church? I want to see it. Is it still there?
Yeah, Saint-Germain-des-Prés. It's kind of a famous church. I'll put it in the chat if you care.
I want to see. Billy loves French fries.
Oh yeah,
Billy, I love French fries too. Tater tots, Billy, is where it's really at.
Oh,
right.
I do love tater tots.
Okay, there's a little.
Yeah,
there's an accent. Okay.
I think what?
No, I was going to interrupt again with a silly Shelby question. Has Arvid ever met Carrie Henn?
I don't think so. Who's Carrie Henn? Who dat?
Newt from Aliens.
Oh, Carrie, Newt.
Yeah, supposedly Shelby went to high school with her, but there's high doubt.
Okay.
He's lying. He photoshopped it off.
Yeah, totally.
He's so cool.
You don't know no Newt.
Shelby, get around.
That's fine. You don't have to be. He doesn't know her.
Okay. All right. Yes. So that's where my first comic was born. The first one that was professionally. Yeah, Saint-Germain-des-Prés. And
oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's where I had my idea for my first comic. It was called Rex Mundi. Yeah. That was that.
So how did that come about? How did you get Rex Mundi?
Yeah, I lost.
I mean, you don't have to talk about it. Is that
exactly. Arvid, what a great guest, Arvid. Right. Wow.
No, I mean, really, I want to discuss it. I don't mind.
No, it was intense. Just I lost all my hair doing Rex Mundi. I used to have a glorious full mane of hair.
Dude, I'm bald too, man.
Yeah, I really
beautiful, baby. Right. Come on, that's where it's at. You know, all the coolest people are bald. Look at
too much testosterone, Jason. Too much testosterone.
That's right. You
know,
can't
handle it.
Yeah,
can't handle it.
Yeah.
What happened? Well, that year I also went to the San Diego Comic Book Convention, and it was just awesome. All these artists, it was just like amazing. You know, you can tell someone's an artist because they have a massive black portfolio in their hands. Mm-hmm. So every time I saw them, just sort of like, you know, that painting by I think it's Caravaggio of like Peter calling to Christ. He's like, it's this kind of intense painting. He's like pointing to like Jesus is pointing. Peter's kind of like, what? that was kind of like me with these artists. I would like point at them, and in my mind, anyways, and all these amazing artists. I met Eric J, the artist. He became the artist for Rex Mundy, a co-creator, main artist for Rex Mundy. And after it was just intense. We submitted it to Image Comics. It was a very, very harrowing experience, but we got turned into an ongoing series with Image Comics, and that was that. Yeah.
Now, was Image your first gig? Because I wasn't it through Dark Horse first? You said I could have sworn I heard you on a stream saying it was through Dark Horse first.
Yes, it started at Image, and then we moved over.
Started at Image, and then you went to Dark Horse.
That's
now,
right.
Did you have a preference, like, or did you like enjoy working with one company over the other? What was your experience like?
This is hard because I know a lot of people. There's so many good people at Dark Horse that I like a lot. I gotta be careful.
No. I don't want you to get yourself in trouble. I was just curious because the way I see it, and we could even talk backstage later, because like with Frog or anything else, like obviously a goal for a lot of us is to get into comic shops or wherever it may be and get more eyes on stuff. And to do that, really, you pretty much kind of have to go through a bigger publisher in a way.
Yeah.
So if, like, let's say Ink and I have been talking, and like with Frog, like, well, maybe we could push it through Dark Horse, or are they good to work with? Or Image, are they good to work with? Like, we don't know. Shelby is obviously like do it yourself because you guys are stupid, but Shelby, come on, you're stupid too. So. But no, we always want to explore new avenues, new things, and get and talk to people. This is the thing. You have experience in the field, like Shelby does. I've talked with Frega, obviously, now and then. So it's important for us little people who never really put a book out to really communicate with people and get a plan going and understand how things work. Otherwise you go in blind, you're going to get the wool pull over your eyes.
Right.
So.
Definitely.
Yeah, but that's still cool though that you still were in those publishers, and that's something to have in your bag.
Definitely.
So how long did that go on for, that series?
Sure, and I'm happy to talk. It's probably better to. I'm always
we'll destroy everyone backstage.
Exactly. What was
how long did it go on for, that series?
Oh my God, it was like 10 years. It took me 10 years to put it out.
Oh wow. Now it took you 10 years to do it, or the series went for 10 years?
Sort of both. I mean, I had a few starts and stops. It was just intense. Eric and I had to part ways, the artist, and then finding another artist was a challenge. But we did it. We finished it. Actually, I have it right here. I mean, it's long too. It's thick. It's big. It's
now, is this still available through like Amazon or whatever may have you?
It's not, sadly. It is out of print.
That's pretty dope. Look at that. Jeez.
Yeah. So
crap. All right. Well, those are available. How much are those?
Yeah, unfortunately, I've seen these going for like $50, $100.
Jeez,
yeah,
nice.
They're out of print, so yeah.
Well, I mean, you can still probably find them on eBay if everybody wants to check. Hey, it's a big volume even for $50, $100.
Yeah,
it's a lot of content. So
no, what it retailed for $25. So
geez, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty crazy good deal.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. And like I said, it's always good to have that experience under your belt, and it's a learning experience too, because like you go in, you learn how to do it, but then now it was a monthly, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, it was as monthly as we could do it. We had like a 6-month gap. I put it often as I could. When the art was ready, That was
Yeah. So now, do you prefer, like, whenever you're out in the shop or wherever, do you prefer superhero comics? Do you like noir, fantasy? What do you look for whenever you're out buying for yourself?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't read a lot of American comics. There are some American creators I like. I really like Franco-Belgian comics a lot. Okay. Love French comics. I like Japanese comics a lot too. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of great American comics, but yeah, it's funny.
Were you ever into Western comics, or were you just more into the other things growing up?
Yeah, it was. It's fun. I remember so clearly, like being in high school when Image first got big. Oh, it was so exciting. I just remember Spawn #1. I love that stuff. I absolutely love that stuff.
I kind of find with people relative, mid 40s, early 50s, like as just even fans growing up, or even people who become like that era. Like, I mean, I know we grew up with it, but there's some people I know our age that like, oh, I love the 70s and 80s stuff. But mostly it's once they saw people like, you know, the typical, you know, Patassios and the McFarlanes and the Life, like they saw these people, it was so different and just cool. The Silvestris, like you know me, I'm a big Sam Keith fan. So when you see stuff like that compared to like, and he's great, but you see like Art Adams, Neil Adams, John Byrne, like it's a comic book style.
No, indeed.
It is, but then you see those other guys, and there's just this certain other atmosphere that they brought in that was just, it was cool, and you're like, whoa, this could be a thing. Right. Granted, like Image wasn't the best writing, and you being a writer, buying those is probably a little painful.
Yeah. Well, Shelby says the Image was mild, Malibu was peak.
Yeah. Oh, Malibu comics.
Malibu, yeah. Well, I mean, Malibu put Image. That's what they went through was Malibu at first. So yeah. Malibu was where it's at.
Yeah.
I know Shelby's a big hard case fan. So.
Nice. Okay.
He loves hard case. I have the hologram version of the hard case number.
Do you?
One. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Is it worth how much? What's that worth?
Like $20.
That's awesome. Hey, that's great.
But no, but like I said, the writing, because you being a writer, was that something that like when you were buying comics, was that like, did you know like, hey, I like the writing more than the art, or I kind of want to do that? Like, what got you into that field in general?
Yeah, you know, God, what was it? I just kind of fell into it. You know, I did see, I'm working in film a lot. I saw a lot of people really struggling and suffering and unnecessarily. I mean, the thing that seemed to me is that everyone, okay, I will never forget this. I was at an internship. This was a year prior to starting the comic. There was this guy, he was a DP, a director of photography, a cinematographer, and everyone was worshipful of him. And I said, why are you so worshipful of him? He's a complete Delta Bravo, too. Total douche. She said, why is everyone worship him? He says, oh, he shot a video for Martha Stewart. It's like, what? I mean, no, like, good for you. No, like, you know what I mean? Like, awesome, man. Good for you. No, that takes a lot of skill, and it's impressive. But like, is this what I want? I mean, I feel like a lot of people, I don't know if it's still like this, but like you sort of cut your teeth doing commercials. And if you do really good commercials, then they let you make a movie. And I just like,
it's probably still how it goes, I would imagine.
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Yes. So,
yeah. So I was just like, you know what, screw this. I don't want to suffer like this. So I thought comics just seemed like more fun to me. I can be closer to the actual. Great. That's what I saw. I saw so many people in film who were they were working in film, but they were actually they were just as far away from their dreams, realizing their dreams, as they were the first day that they decided to start working in film. So I said, I'm not going to do that. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, how long ago was that? It was like, what, maybe 15, 20 years ago?
Like 20. Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. Even like back then, it was still even a little easier to actually do your own thing. Than it was even 10 years before that.
Yes.
So like even now it's just insanely easier. Like, in all reality, like if I want to do, hey, I want to make a comic and print like 20 issues of it just to have a thing, I can do that. It'll cost a couple $100, but I can do it and just, hey, now I have a comic book. Like you could just do it now. It's crazy. And like, that's why I got in, because I heard people like Frege and all them be like, dude, you got a thing, you're doing it, just put it out. Like even the guy at my LCS, he was telling me, go through Kickstarter, and I'm like, what? I could do all that? He's like, yeah dude, it's actually awesome. If you get funded, great. If you don't, they get reimbursed, and you don't have to worry about it. So and like now, that's what a lot of people say. If you have a thing and you have a passion for it and you're good at it, just do it now. Why wait? Just do it, jump in. What the worst that can happen is it doesn't work now, and 2 years from now, you even hone your skills more, and you get better, and then you put out, and then it succeeds. And if 100%. Not, you just keep going. Just keep swimming, like Dory says.
I cannot believe how much easier it is now. Even though when I started in like 19, I will never forget. There was a FedEx station at 53rd Street and 3rd Avenue in Manhattan. And it was open until 10 p.m. If you could get there by 10 p.m., you could get them the CD. I could get it to the publisher, to Image Comics, so that we could make it for that month. And I will never forget and there's that Ramones song, 53rd and 3rd, standing on the street. I remember just sprinting, going 53rd and 3rd, standing on the street. Where is it? Oh yeah, 53rd and 3rd, standing on the street, and just like dripping sweat, just being like the FedEx guy being like,
yeah, I heard I can't remember where I heard it. I think it was a podcast or whatever. They were interviewing Wills, and he was saying how him and Jim, they had deadlines obviously, but they would pull like 24-hour all-nighters to see who could crank out more pages and get the book done faster. And they'd have to slip it into the FedEx like package, overnight it, like get there right at deadline time. But here's the thing with that, and I think that is kind of something interesting about with the way we do things and how they did things.
Yeah.
Sometimes, every now and then, it will be that they were like things were like the art and the writing was better back then with 100%. What they were doing because they were under that deadline, under that pressure, 100%. So they couldn't refine it and like nitpick. But there's plenty of people now who this is a weird circumstance, and it's a person by person case where they need that extra time to make it look even better and refine it. So it, like people will say some of like Jim's best work and like all Silvestri's was like X-Men and stuff whenever they were like, you know, under that tight deadline and they had to get it done and they couldn't sit there and just noodle all day long, you know, or fine tune and edit the writing and do stuff like that. Like it's a weird bag that we have here. And I kind of think some people get lost even like I'm an artist, like, you know, and so I even find like I see people drawing streams or whatever, and it takes them a long time to even put a line down. I'm like, just do it, hurry up, like get it out there. You're worrying too much. Like you're losing a bit of the energy, just like with writing. I think now, I don't know how you write. I don't know if you put on music or what, but if you just start pounding away at the keyboard, eventually you're going to get in that flow state and it's just going to come. Right. You know, so now what is your writing process like? Do you put on like classical music, rock, or do you just empty noise and you go keyboard, notepad? How do you go about it?
Yeah, I need total silence. And I just, you know, the only time I have writer's block is every time I sit down to write. Every single time. It never gets easier. Yeah.
Do you do it on the computer? Do you have like a classic, you know, keyboard, like a you know, typewriter? How do you do it? Notepad?
Yeah, I just do it on this computer right here that I have right here. I just here's the keyboard. I just do it right here.
Well, because Edwin Acevedo, he writes The Ace and a lot of great books. He actually uses his phone a lot of times at night. He'll take notes and just write a lot of stuff in bed when he's on his phone and just yeah, it's pretty interesting. So that's why I kind of I'm interested as to how people go about it because I've written a couple things and I kind of like putting on classical music because I like maybe instrumentals would work too, but I find with the classical music I can kind of tune it out and it absorbs in and there's no words, so I don't have to worry about dead silence. I just start spacing out. I'm just like,
oh, okay, yeah. For me, it takes like 8 hours for me to like get in the zone, and when I do, it's like I do all the work in 1 hour, but it takes me 8 hours to get to that place.
And that's the thing about writing that people don't understand. They think, and it is faster than drawing without a doubt, but to get to the point to where you're actually in the flow state, it takes a little for some reason. It's just like, I don't know why. It's just there's that weird buildup that now, do you ever try going for like a walk? Like I heard that like also people walk for like they'll go for a walk for like a half hour. They'll come back and like, oh, that's where all the ideas came from.
Yeah, actually, you know what? There's a great book on creativity. David Lynch. I think he died recently, but
he did.
Yeah, there's a great book on creativity. I have it right here, so I can pull it off my shelf. Yeah,
nice,
great book.
Nice. Oh, really cool.
Check that out. Have you ever read The War of Art?
No.
Oh, it's really good. It's about resistance. I don't know who's by, really, to tell you the truth, but I listened to it when I was at work, and it's a quick book. If you listen to it in an audio book, it's like a couple hours. It's a quick read, quick listen. Yeah. But it's all about resistance and getting into that like the flow state and like summoning the muse yourself rather than waiting for it. And, you know, it's pretty much just about like getting out there and doing the thing and not letting anything really kind of get in your way. And if something does, learn how to get around it, adapt it, and move in with it. So yeah, The War of Art, really, really good book. I've heard about it for a long time, and I know Frege pushes it, but I heard about it even before that.
All right.
But, yeah, check it. Luke might recommend it too. I know he's read it. So check it out. Like I said, put it on an audio book. If you go walking, you'll listen to it. And
I will. The War.
The War of Art. Yeah, not the art of war. The War of Art.
Yeah. Okay, I will check that out.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what writing for me is like? Did you ever play those old graphic adventure games like King's Quest or Monkey Island? Or
Oh yeah.
Like that. That is what writing is like to me, because I firmly believe that there's like a story out there, and you just have to talk about a muse. The story's there. You just have to transmit it properly.
Well,
and if you can get really stuck, yeah.
No, I was gonna say, and that's why also I don't know about you, but like it's like I don't know if you with Oren or anybody, like if you hang out and you just like bounce about ideas, because like we'll do it in the pit with Billy and
Nice.
Plagle and all of us will hang out in the pit while I'm drawing. Like they'll be like, "Hey, Jason, maybe you should do this with that," and I'll yell at them and be like, "You're wrong," but they're actually right, and I'll do it and it'll work. And like I don't know if you're like that with writing. Maybe you're like bouncing ideas off of somebody and like getting into that mindset, that flow.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is what a good editor will do. I think a good editor should be. Here's my thing about editors. Because, I just want you to be harsh. Just beat me up. Just be totally brutally honest. I actually think a good editor is going to be honest, but they're in your corner. They're like a coach. They want you to succeed. They need to be. It's that balance of empathy. I'm not a big fan of just like beating someone up for the sake of beating it up. I think a good editor will come up with specific, explicit solutions to whatever problem it is you're facing. Even usually with a good editor, it's not that I end up taking their solution, but I go, "Oh, that's a good idea," and you modify that, or you do something completely different. But that's what helps you get it, break out of your shell. Yeah.
And once again, it's great about what we do because in like Marvel and DC, the editor kind of has the say in what they do. With us, we have the say. So like the editor's like, "Dude, I think you should change the word from to there." It's like, well, no, I want it to be from. It works better in the way in the grand scheme of everything. Like you don't know really fully what's going on in the future. So I do, but there's plenty of times where like, "Oh, well, this, sentence structure is weird. It's better if you substitute this."
Right.
And we can actually just take like it's more of an advisor. And they're like, "Well, this is kind of what you should do. Take it or leave it."
100%.
Yeah. And the way I see it, we're paying them. They work for us. It's not the other way around like it is at the mainstream.
Right.
And that's where we have an advantage. Now, also, we're artists. You and I were artists, so we kind of have an ego. So we're just like, "It's my way." And sometimes we're wrong. And we kind of have to admit it every now and then.
No, exactly. So, I think actually, the best editor I ever worked with him was Benet Nauer. I haven't talked to her in a while. She was awesome. She was so, I don't know, empathetic. She just had a way of getting through to you. Like you said, just breaking it down.
That's cool.
Yeah, because she was just such a wonderful person. She was so just genuine and wonderful and enthusiastic and supportive. How could you not listen to her? You just had to.
Right.
She was so wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. Ink and I had all this on Frog. He did a great job. I've worked with Shay. She's done really well as far as like the indie scene goes. But even still, like you don't even, I mean, nowadays, really, like we hang out with so many people and have so many friends. You're like, "Hey, can you look at this?" And sometimes with even like a random person who doesn't even read or collect comics, if they read what you got, they might even be a better person to go about it because they're looking at it in a totally different perspective.
That's right.
So it's always good to get different eyes on things as you can, and it helps a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, with what we are doing here, we have an advantage. It's a big disadvantage because we have to do stuff like this, where we're talking to maybe 7 to 10 people right now. It's not the internet is massive and millions and billions of people, but hey, 7 to 10 people, that's 7 to 10 more than what we're watching before. And you never know, and you got to put the groundwork in, and it's harder in that regard because we got to really push it out there and try to get as many eyes on it. Not because, we want you to get money, but we also want people to read a cool, awesome thing, look at some dope artwork and get involved in this thing and, help you succeed in your project. And like I told with Ink and all of us, we're in the same mindset. Like we kind of want this to be a temporary thing, the crowdfunding thing. We really want it to be like to where like this is like the start of it. And then eventually we just do it without crowdfunding and just start putting stuff out. And that's the goal. So this is a step in the process.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
So,
yeah.
No. And do you remember the first, like maybe even Western or French comic book you ever bought?
What are my memories? I remember reading a comic called Martial Law.
Is that Judge Dredd?
Who did that? It's Pat Mills and Kevin O'Neill. It's very clever. It's kind of a deconstruction of Judge Dredd, but it's a great comic. It's kind of like it's sort of like a superhero murder mystery, sort of a dystopian superhero murder mystery. It's really, really, really well done. Really well
cool.
Done.
Yeah, I always find it interesting, and words are hard. Interesting as to what people got in their first books and how they go about because I told everybody this comic thing, it's a weird niche to get into. Like it's like we all got made fun of as kids,
Right,
unless you were Shelby and you hid it from everybody.
Right.
But yeah, we were picked on. It wasn't really cool. So yeah, I always find it fascinating and interesting what people's first books were and how they got into it, because like I said, it's not sports. Like that's the most common thing when we were growing up.
Yeah,
like now with movies and everything, like it's not as uncommon. But when we were kids, you don't want to be caught with a comic book.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
But
let me see who's the art. I think it's Kevin O'Neill who's the artist.
What's up, Rick Sailor?
Hey.
Good to see you, man.
Rick, what's up?
Yeah.
Oh, then Billy says George R.R. Martin would beg to differ. The writing is faster.
Everyone's waiting for him to die, including him.
He's doing a video game now or something.
There's
he's
exceptions
doing something
to
right
every
now.
rule, Billy.
In the book.
Yeah, he's doing a video game or something like that. Yeah, there's exceptions to every rule, but overall, I think like a writer can write more comic books than what an artist can draw in a year.
Yes,
it's just the way it is. And speaking of comic books. So did Oren
really awesome. I love that so much.
Did Oren animate all that in 20 minutes? Is that what happened?
Yeah, that was very, very time and financially and temporally.
It was dope though, dude.
Who did it? Can you say, or is it someone?
No, absolutely. First of all credit goes to Oren. Oren spent about 9 months on that.
Oh, nice.
We also both had to educate ourselves on animation. So
yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so he did the style frames. He was the keyframe animator for it. He was basically the director for it. So that was just, he did an enormous amount of work with it. And also equally, I'm grateful to Titmouse Inc. They're an animation studio in
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I've heard of them.
I have heard of them, which I'm shocked by. I usually don't hear of animation companies. But
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
more like normally it's a little bit outside the wheelhouse of what they do, but they really came down on the price, and we really both sort of filled in the gaps. They really stretched it to make it work. We really stretched it to make it work.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah,
I guess Billy Arvid, the book mentioned earlier, is The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. Okay. Excellent book.
Awesome, I'll check it out.
Sounds great. The War of Art. That's Stephen Pressfield. That's what I said.
I think he's being a stinker.
No, I didn't know who wrote it.
Okay. He's just being thorough.
Billy's being helpful. I'm just trolling Billy. So Band of the Crow, Arvid, fill me in, my friend. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Well, this is in most fantasy, we're talking about I love Tolkien, but I think a lot of the tropes of fantasy get stale, at least for me anyway. So what this was about for me was really looking at fantasy, hopefully going back to the source material. Not so much Tolkien, but there was actually a generation, even like 2 generations of writers before him. What did they do? And trying to find inspiration from them. And what are the things that inspired them? But in most fantasy, it's like the elves or the dwarves or whatever, they're fading into oblivion. And it's human beings spread out in the world. This is the exact opposite of that. In this world, it's the human beings. It's us. We are on the brink of extinction.
Oh,
about time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. Not a moment too soon. Yeah.
We've had it too good for too long.
That's right.
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Right. Nice. So it's is the Band of the Crow then like a guild, sect? What's or is it just the title of the book?
Yeah, you will find out what that means in like.
No, I want to know now.
It's okay. So now,
no. So as the story develops, you find out.
Yeah, exactly. But there are 3 members of the Band of the Crow, and yeah, that's right.
Nice. So
that's right. Yeah.
Cool.
So you're kind of revisiting fantasy, but retooling it in a way almost that you something maybe you haven't seen before. That I've never, like you said, usually is magic is fading from the kingdom,
right?
And you hear all that fun stuff. But
right.
So we are the endangered species,
right.
And is it about like the humans uprising? Are like what's the story arc about?
Yeah, so humans are left on this one tiny island on the eastern edge of the world. It's the only place human beings are left. And frost giants have taken over everywhere else.
Ooh.
Yeah. But humans have this power of sorcery. They can use magic. And that makes them incredibly dangerous and powerful. But their understanding of magic and their usage of magic is all governed by their religion. Religion is extremely important to these people. So they are actually, this was to me, I took a course in college. I was an English major. So we had to take, medieval English literature. I was amazed at how religious people were back then. People were like very into Jesus in Middle Ages. It really, everything in their lives was governed by religion in medieval England. So that was really the inspiration for that. It's the organizing principle for these people's life. It organizes their culture. It organizes their outlook on the world. Yeah.
Well, religion was pretty much their science.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
It's how they explain things in the world. And
right.
Yeah.
That's right. And also it's like if you were, like you said, like if you don't like sports, like if you like comic books, you could always like join the church. It was
yeah.
You join a monastery. It's kind of intense, but yeah, it was yeah, exactly, Jason. Exactly.
So this plays on that idea of like not religion in the book, but so to speak, like a spirituality sense of things, and that creates their magical abilities, their mage-like experience. Do they? And so like prayer is almost like spell casting.
Right. It's like this is also another thing about. Again, I love Lord of the Rings. It's one of my favorite things. But this is another issue I have with fantasy. Everything that people believe about the metaphysics of the world is actually real. Like Gandalf, he's a Maiar, right? The Maiar is descended from the Maiar. He's one of 5 wizards that's been sent to Earth to rid the world of Sauron. And Sauron really is the Lord of Evil. In other words, everything people believe is actually true. But this reality isn't really like that. It doesn't really work like that. So the Band of the Crow is more of a world of like, their religion is more like the religions in our world. You don't really see anything one way or another that either proves definitively or disproves the religion that they believe in. They believe in it. But is it literally true? Well, maybe.
So does the story itself, does it follow like a group of individuals like set out to find a goblet? Like, you know what I mean? Like what is like is there a MacGuffin? Like what's the
So the story starts pretty simply. There is Therial is the main character of the story. If you are a sorcerer family, it's like being an aristocrat. It's like being a baron or a duke or something like that. Only aristocrats are allowed to practice sorcery. It's one of the ways that they regulate access to magic. So Therial has to become a sorcerer. He also has to get married. He has a feud with another family. His family is having a feud with another family. He is supposed to get married to the daughter, the heir of this rival family, to end the feud. But to do that, he has to become a sorcerer. And in order to do that, he has to walk this labyrinth called an endless knot. That's how you become a sorcerer in this world. You enter this labyrinth called an endless knot. At the center, there's a sacred oak tree. And magical mistletoe grows in it. If you can cut a sprig of the mistletoe, they call it your life thread. It's your soul, basically. That's what makes you a sorcerer. It amplifies your sorcery. It makes you able to use and channel magic. It's called a fail. It's like a magical amulet. Okay. So he has to do that. But not everyone who goes into the labyrinth comes out alive again. Some people just disappear forever.
It's so like a test of will.
Right, exactly. It's like a test of will. And it's sort of bound to religion. If you are pure of heart, this is what people believe. If you're pure of heart, you will find it to the center. You will get your fail. You will get magical amulet. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you read Dragonlance at all like that or anything.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So is this kind of like let's say you get your amulet? Is there color coding pretty much for like good, evil, neutral, or is like does that matter at all in this realm? Is there good magic, bad magic, like corruption?
Yeah, actually, funny you mentioned that. So there's yes, in a way, but again, it's all just people's perceptions of it. I try not to be like. I mean, I wouldn't call this like religious fiction or Christian fiction. Obviously, you can see that the religion borrows very heavily from Christianity and Catholicism, but I try to stay pretty neutral. I try to let people make up their own minds about it. I am religious myself, but I don't know.
Here's the thing. Like even with Frog, like we're doing stuff like Ink will research other religions, you could say myths, like sure, fine. Some people religion is myth, no matter which religion it is. So, and there's so many and so many vast ones, and the Christian one is the most popular known one. Like it's just overall. So to tap into that, the Catholicism, the Christianity, and like if people can identify it, they know where it comes from in a general sense. It's relatability, and they can be like, okay, I understand this without even having to do research. So with Frog, even like Ink will do a lot of research, but we tap into like Norse and like African myths and even Christian myths, and like so we'll tie it all in. So you're doing a similar thing where you're drawing inspiration from religious texts or religious ideas, but putting it into a mystical, magical type of a thing. The Black Flag, mythical.
Right.
But no, and that's cool. But we all draw from inspiration from somewhere, and like even reading like Dragonlance or Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, magic and like there's clerics, there's healers, there's still religious concepts in those things. Like mages in fantasy treat it like a religion. They do. So there's nothing uncommon, I think. And it's a good way to get people integrated and used to the idea of what you're doing.
Indeed. So. And to your point, the kind of magic, this is just the term that people have. The kind of, when you get a fail, we get this amulet. The kind of magic that's called, they call that high magic. And they consider that to be good and pure. There's another form of magic that they call low magic. It's like empathetic magic. It's like being able to read someone's thoughts, being able to influence someone's thoughts, or dream visitations, or things like that.
That's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, that is looked at, right. And it's in some circumstances, high magic is very powerful. In some circumstances, it's useless. In other circumstances, low magic is very useful. In other instances, it's it's pretty useless. But
did you play D&D?
In this world, I did.
Okay,
and, a lot of D&D.
Yeah,
actually, I was more of like a Warhammer fantasy person.
Oh, okay, nice.
But in this world, high magic is the only sorcerers can do high magic. You have to be an aristocrat. You have to have a fail to do it. Have to have it. But low magic, kind of like some people, anyone can have a talent for it, and it's kind of looked at. People are suspicious of it. They kind of look down.
And this also goes back to the religion, back in the medieval days and stuff. The only people that could read were the priests, and stuff like that. And lower people just couldn't read.
Yeah, exactly.
And they had to list. Yeah, so it taps into that concept as well. So pretty cool. How'd you meet Oren? Because I mean, Oren's amazing. I've loved his stuff ever since I saw it, and the guy's a monster. How did you meet Oren?
Yeah, Oren is great. Oren, actually, I was working for some Godzilla comics, some Monsterverse comics for Legendary Comics. I did some comic book, graphic novel tie-ins. Yeah, I worked with another artist from Malaysia, Zid. Zid and I became fast friends. Actually, I had been working with another artist for 4 years on the Band of the Crow. Then we had to part ways. That was sad.
It happens,
but it does indeed. But I actually asked Zid to draw it. He said, "I'm too busy, but I know somebody. He's like a legend in Malaysia."
Ooh.
So, don't embarrass me, Arvid. So I said, "Okay, I won't."
Yeah, no, I mean, he's not wrong, dude. Oren's amazing. Like, I remember we'd be on streams together, just watching him crank out stuff.
Yeah.
That is just of high caliber
quality.
I'm like, I hate
He's
you
amazing.
so much.
I know.
You know, but it goes back to my concept once again, like, don't overthink it. Like, just, do it and it'll look dope. So, but no, that's great. And Oren is a great fit for this project. He really is amazing. And you guys, I mean, he's a quiet man from whenever I was on streams with him.
Indeed.
But you guys definitely are a great team. So
thank you. Yeah, we sort of fill in each other's gaps. It's funny to talk about editors. He's kind of my editor, and I'm kind of his editor.
Nice.
So,
but that's a great way to work about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, like in the pit, like we'll bounce off of each other. Spots and I do it a lot actually. Whenever we're just even hanging out by ourselves, like we'll bounce back and forth, and like we don't dictate as much as just give opinions.
Yeah, right.
So it's not like, hey, you do it this way. It's what if you try it this way, or I do like that, but and whether or not we listen to each other is another.
Yeah, right.
Altogether. But but I also like, how much leeway do you? Because a reason why I'm asking is because Inky and I give each other a lot of leeway. How much leeway do you give Oren when it comes to like structure, panel layout, storytelling, what's in the panel? Are you like an Alan Moore where you have to have everything precise, or are you just more of a like loosey goosey kind of guy?
Yeah, no, we do things pretty. It's a real back and forth. It's funny. One of the first things we do is the lettering, and lettering is the first thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
That's backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do things kind of backwards.
What's the reason?
Yeah. The reason is, we do that so that everything can be lettered correctly and properly, and nothing is no art is being covered up. You maintain eye contact and lines of sight between characters, and just makes a page flow much better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Lettering is the worst, in my opinion. I hate it so much. Ink hates it. We both loathe it completely. And if we could afford it and get it done the way we envision it, we would pay somebody. You know, the problem comes into play. I don't know with you. We're kind of sticklers with how things look.
Yeah,
we're not like when it comes to Ink and me working on it. We're fine. We're loose. We're like, whatever you do is dope. But whenever other people do something, we're like,
Right.
We're like, I don't know about that. Right. So like you like to keep this more in house then? Like
definitely.
You do the lettering. Like, do you do the lettering? Does Oren like who tackles what?
Yeah, Oren does a very, very rough sketch. I put the lettering in, and then it's great to reel back and forth. I mean, I think we both together figure out what the best vision for the page is. We just work really well together. It's like Vulcan mind meld between Oren and I. It's great.
Nice. So as far as like character design and like, stuff like that, does Oren kind of have more of the tackling of that in area, or do you dictate a little bit there?
I wish we did so much character design. It was such a wonderful collaborative experience. Hopefully one of these days we'll get a Band of the Crow art book out.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
Even like if there's that much content, an individual book would be dope, or even still like behind the scenes, like 5 extra pages like in the back of the book would be kind of cool too. Maybe as a stretch goal you could add it on. I don't know. That would be kind of cool. Not everything, just a little teaser of like turnarounds or something. It would be cool to see. Like I know there's some people who even like put little parts of their script that they typed up and stuff like that in the back of the book, so you get to kind of see the process. A lot of people, I'm one of them, I'm fascinated by the even though I know how it works a little bit, I'm fascinated by how other people do it. So I love the process. I like seeing stuff like sketchbooks and like notes from the writer and like breakdowns, and that's my jam. Like I don't know if you know the artist Derek Hess. His style is super loose and just sketchy, and to me it's almost a blueprint, but it's like a finished piece, and there's so much energy that's the way I look at like the preliminary stuff. It's like that's where the juice is, like that's where the essence is. And I love seeing something. An art book, even with your little notes in there, or like dictations with like a little arrow. Hey, do this here. I would love to see that, dude.
It's lettered only pages. Not only that, it wasn't just for the characters. We actually experimented with different styles. We did more of like a Disney style. We had more of a Studio Ghibli style. I think eventually we sort of went to Oren's default style. I think it's just kind of right.
I think that was a smarter choice.
Thank you. I did too.
Because his also, if it's his natural style, it's more comfortable for him, and it'll just be a faster process, I think, in that regard, and it'll be more true to his work.
Yeah.
I love other styles. Like I'm a style guy.
Yeah.
I discussed this ad nauseum. Even last night we were talking about style over like structure, and like structure's important.
Yeah.
But I lean more on the rule of cool and just style. Like if it
amen.
looks dope, if it reads cool, if it's a lot more fun, I want to see it. I love it.
Yeah.
But so it's dope stuff, dude. And we'll go over everyone's fear.
Oh, the tears.
Yeah, the tears.
Yeah.
Everybody
The
loves
tears.
the tears. As long as I get my scroller to stop working here. All right. Or Arvid, my eyes are the worst, so you're gonna have to help me out here.
Sure.
What's this one here?
This is our featured one. This is book 1. This is it. This is our 64-page album. In fact, actually, I can show it to you. I have it right
Whoa.
here.
What?
This is it. This is what you get.
It's really nice.
Yeah, we got a nice. I don't know if you see the spot gloss on it.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, you got spot gloss there. Look at that.
Cool.
Also, this is that has like a.
Oh, it's. Ooh,
Hey.
Spare no expense.
Oh, that is so great.
Yeah,
that's
like
dope.
We did Smite. Yeah, we did. I don't know. Did you see the signatures in there? So it's so it's really nice. It really is a nice piece of.
That's sick. So you already have this printed up.
That's right. That's right. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. We are ready to ship this out.
You, sir, are a phenom. Okay. That's dope, though. Okay. Like, yours is printed already. Like, a mindset Ink and I have, we kind of want things to be done. Not maybe the printing, because we can't afford that. But, like, we want the book to be finished pretty much before we launch, or at least, like, 90% finished before it prevents delay.
Exactly.
So, and that's smart to have. Like, if you can get it printed, awesome. And the thing is, you're still crowdfunding what you paid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to try to recoup some expenses and stuff like that, which I fully well know that's not cheap.
Right.
You just showed not cheap. So, the crowdfunding process still applies to what you're doing. Like, even though you have it printed already, it still applies to what you're looking for. And I think people lose sight of that. They think like this is like, he has it printed. Why do I have to? It's like, well, you're still pre-ordering the book.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's right.
So you have the 64 pages, fully colored, first book.
That's right.
Amazing price points.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
But I know. We worked hard to find great vendors who could get us really, really good quality at a really good price. I love doing this. I didn't know how much fun it would be finding.
It is a lot of fun. You're not
K-pop.
Have you met K-pop?
I don't believe so.
Get on her channel. She's a lot of fun.
She does comic book reviews and lots of fun stuff.
She promotes people. K-pop is a lot of fun, a lot of energy. Her streams are engaging. Chat bombastic. So I try to have people. She's very busy. So get you on there. K-pop, ARVID's dope. Hit them up. All right, so 64 pager, fully colored, first year, great price point, can't beat it.
Let me also say that it ends on Thursday. Price is going up. We're selling these. The $18 is the MSRP for this. So prices are going up once the campaign ends. We really want to reward early backers. Truly, that's all we want to do. It is a really good price. Yes, this is an outrageous price. We don't do sales. That's not part of our business model. This is the sale. Please get this now. We want to reward early backers.
It's like an early bird special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And this is the thing, like, it has been the discussion you have been talked about, sir, with this in mind is you're like, I don't like to discuss finances on streams really, but like, this isn't feasible for most people to do this price point. Like, you're crazy. When I said you were crazy, I was like, like wacky wavy inflatable arm flailing tube, man. You're insane for this price point. It's a great deal. So get in now, everybody, because like ARVID's gonna definitely try. We want ARVID to make money.
Exactly. I have to charge more than this. It's funny, like, it's actually mathematically possible for me to turn a profit, which is the first campaign we did last November. It was just like, forget it.
And we'll get to that in a second here after we go over a couple more tiers. Or it is, I'll just ask, can you still get that book on this campaign?
Yes, you can. So that is still available. Again, prices went up a little bit. We're still selling them below cost. So this is our $2 tier right here. You get the first half of this. You get the first half of book 1 for $2. This is our, if you don't have a lot of money, if you want to like dip your toe in the water.
You're insane.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Hey.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
Phil and someone.
what's up, Phil?
Not Phil.
No,
Phil, not Phil.
This
but
is our,
they're not. Here's the thing, Arvid.
Yeah.
Like, Ink and I have talked about this.
Yeah.
The economy's not the best.
No, exactly.
So
Exactly.
you are crazy, yes, but that's pretty cool of you, dude. Because, like you said, if you still want to, like, if you love this concept, you're a fantasy head, you love everything fantasy, you love the art, the story, everything's dope. You're like, I can't really afford even that.
Right.
You can afford a couple bucks probably
Right.
though. So, and get a taste. And
Right.
so you're like, then later on, you could even get more of it later or whatever. So it's really dope if you do, especially with this hard economy that we're in right now. Hopefully things will turn around eventually. But that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, kudos for you. Yeah.
This is inspired by Costco. You can go into a Costco, the hot dog soda combo for $1.50.
Oh my gosh.
Hot dogs.
You just spoke K-pop's love language. Oh my goodness.
There we go. There's actually a famous story. This is like a famous corporate leadership story that, like, the legendary founder and CEO of Costco. This is in like 1992 or something like that. Hey, Steve, we really need to raise the price on the soda hot dog combo. And he said, apparently this is in the minutes of the board meeting. If you touch the effing price of the effing hot dog combo, I will effing kill you.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. Oh no.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dang.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, he wasn't wrong because now K-pop's a
right.
happy person.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's an interesting story. I hope it's
It
true.
is interesting.
I think it's a true story. Yeah.
So what's this guy?
Okay, this is the print version of that. So that was the PDF version of it. So PDF for $2. It is just a PDF, and it's not for print. This is
okay.
Yeah. So these are the copies of these are the single issue copies from our campaign last November. We printed these out just kind of for fun. We have some variant covers. They're kind of like little collectibles. They're kind of fun little collectibles.
That was like a kind of like was that like a preview book? Was that
Yes.
Okay? That's what I.
It was like a glorified ash can. It was a very, 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 very expensive ash can. Yeah.
Yeah. For you, not for the
For me,
people buying it.
exactly. Not for.
I was gonna say, not for the
That's my
people buying it,
problem,
my
not
friend.
your problem.
Yeah.
I will not make my problems your problems. I
Yeah,
promise.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
this cat here.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
This is the digital version
cool.
of this. You get the full 64 pages for
Nice.
$11.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah,
Okay.
which always good for our Australia friends because
Indeed, the shipping kills me.
Shipping is
Canada
brutal there.
too, right?
Canada.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
funny thing is, at our work, we haven't been shipping anything to Canada because of the tariffs and stuff. Like, I don't
Right.
know why. We're still taking the orders for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
interesting.
yeah, so yeah.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
hopefully things will get resolved.
Yeah.
What's this one?
All right, Tears of the Goddess. This is our best deal out of the campaign. It's our combo deal. It's the biggest price point. It is the biggest. It's the best deal out of the campaign. Our margin on this is really, really, really not great, but you get a lot of amazing stuff, and you get it for only $26. It's a good deal.
So
Cool.
$26 pre-shipping is the most
Yes.
expensive thing.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
incredible.
You're a lunatic.
Yeah, I
All
know.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even looking at the image, that dude on a regular, like I've done crowdfunders, I've done the printing process. I know, I've looked into things that should be way more just in cost alone.
Yeah.
So,
and I guarantee it will be. These things,
it will be.
We have a few left over. These are going to be a lot more expensive on our next campaign. They're going to be like at least double the price. I honest to Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, and Odin, get it now.
Woo!
Please get it now.
Get
Please
it.
get
Yeah.
now.
Like I said, hey, we're coming down on Frog a little bit in price, but even still at this, like you get this, everybody. You're not going to regret it. Like I said, I know I've done the printing and the shipping and everything and all this stuff. It's not cheap, and ARVID is really cutting you a deal here.
Yeah.
And hooking you up. So yeah. So what's this one?
Yeah, that's all gone. So we sold out of one of the. Wait a minute, we have a few left
it?
over.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Hey,
Kickstarter forces you to show it.
I know. I'm kidding.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. Even on Indiegogo, it blacks it out. But
Does it? Okay. Yeah.
It's still there, but it like grays it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Is there any left?
Gift of the Goddess is gone. I do have a few reserve copies for a mega tier for our next campaign.
Okay.
But-
Yeah, you want to save stuff for your next campaign.
Yeah.
Now, if there are add-ons like in the back end, like if
Yes.
you want to you can kind of customize and gear it up.
Yeah, the coolest add-on is we worked with her name is Francesca Byrald. She's a sort of fantasy cartographer. much sought after. She did this amazing map for us. She actually did 2 maps. I can't wait to show the second one. That's a long way away. It's the second one. Yeah.
Was it on here? Is it?
Yes, it is. If you go to add-ons.
Well, my backer information might show up. I don't know if I'm logged.
Oh, okay.
I mean, granted, I'm not a real secret as to where I live, but I live with mother. I don't want crazy people.
Okay, yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So
Mother.
no, well, she sits in a rocking chair, in her wig and stuff. No, everybody, it's a great deal. The story's dope. It's artwork's amazing. Killer combo. Arvid's a good dude. You can't go wrong. If you can't back it, even at this great price point, if you can't, or even, hey, you're like, I hate fantasy. Yeah. You might like somebody who does. You might know somebody who does. Yeah. Share the campaign out, please. You don't have to share the stream out. I don't need views, but share Arvid's campaign out. Link is pinned at the top of the chat. Share on social media platforms. It's Kickstarter. It ends Thursday. Now, are you going? What do they don't call it in demand.
Yeah. They just did this. It's called late pledges.
Late pledges. Are you going to do that? Are you going into that?
We're doing late pledges, and the price is going up to $15. So get it now.
Get it now,
pledges,
everybody.
$15.
Wow.
So,
link is pinned. It's also in the description below, along with Arvid's X. So go follow Arvid over there on the Twitters if you like that name rather than X. It's a great book, and like I said, it's not like your people are like, oh, what's this? People are aware of this campaign. We have been talking about it. Awesome. Artwork, like your craziness as far as what charging, like you're a madman. Arvid doesn't like money for some reason.
That's right. Yeah.
The more that you back, the more he might get. So
if it's any, I'm gonna go hyperventilate. I hyperventilate my sleep every night. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
On an act. Yeah. No, it's a little stressful, but that's okay.
Honestly, it's cool what you're doing. Like I said, because of the economy, it's not the easiest. It's an extra expenditure. It's a luxury item, and this way, people are like, oh, I could. It's either ramen or I could get the PDF version of Band of the Crow, and read it and enjoy it and get some fun escapism. Yeah. And that's what this is about. Yeah. So, Arvid, thank you. I do have a last question, but Angela.
Wait. Oh. Yeah. Are you doing any other platforms? Are you just going to do Kickstarter?
Yeah, for now it's just Kickstarter. Kickstarter. Okay. Yeah.
They get the most traffic. It's smart.
Yeah, and I think you get more for your buck as well. I mean, I'm not sure about FMC, but I know versus IGG. My main gripe, I have 2 with Kickstarter as far as backers go. 1, it doesn't come out right away. I like that when it comes out right away. 2, I hate backer kit. I always forget, and the next thing you know, I don't get my thing. So I don't like that I have to fill that out.
I know.
Yeah. So I always weird. I'll sometimes bug like Shelby or Plague or somebody, and I'm like, hey, did you guys get your backer kit yet? Did they send that out?
Right.
Because I'd forget. So but Kickstarter does get the most traffic, and it is the most beneficial out of all the platforms. So.
It was not an easy decision to make. It was not an easy decision.
Hey, like even Ink and I, we're just maybe like once Frog is like this series of Frog is wrapped up, maybe do like a trade and put that on Kickstarter. So we're shooting ideas around.
That's great.
Yeah, so it's always good to do and have things planned out.
I have figured out. They just did this. What is it? Pledge management. If you got questions about Kickstarter, is a little idiosyncratic. Reach out. I am here to explain as best as I can. I have suffered and learned. Yeah, you don't have to make mistakes. Let me know if you have any questions.
Nice. Yeah. Arvid's X information is in the description.
I heard you misbacked again during the stream. So cheers.
Thank you, Beams.
Nice.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Angela, is there any last questions in the chat, or do you have any?
I don't see any questions.
Do you have any?
That's all the question I have. So
I have one last question for you, Arvid. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Man, wow. I would love to be able to eat meat.
I'll take it. It meat's delicious, dude. I love it.
I know, Bill. You have no idea. No idea.
You're going on with Luke, who's a huge meat eater. So
that'll be a fun conversation.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure hey, him and Feline, you know, they love their foods. So
I know they got their great pictures. You have no idea. I stared like a vampire staring at a young
Well,
maiden.
I think he would be more forgiving of you not liking meat versus you drinking lots of aspartame. So you have that.
Oh no,
Right,
make sure you
exactly.
bring your
No,
aspartame with you, my friend.
That would be so.
No. Yeah, tell them
Just
how much
like,
you love
get
yellow
your
dye number
aspartame
5.
hat. Yeah, like totally.
Yeah,
It'll be a fun time.
Yeah,
that's
red
right.
number 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Arvid, thank you once again for coming on, man.
Yeah.
This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad you got at least one backer out of it. So that's
Great.
dope. And thank you, Angela, for co-hosting the chat.
Oh.
Thanks to the chat for coming
Yeah,
out.
it was a fun time.
Appreciate you all. I'm gonna hit this button
Dirty
over here
buddy.
that does this.